Welcome to 1984. You have time travelled back in time. You're not in 2019, you're in 1984. November 3 came and went, and we all breathed a sigh of relief. We were really, really happy that nothing happened. I think there were some sick people out there that was hoping it would be the start of World War III. And maybe at the end of the day, the people like us who were talking about it were the ones responsible for stopping it. Because by the end of it, a lot of people knew about it. It just seems very suspicious indeed that they spent so many years and so much energy on the predicting programming to show us it was going to happen and for them to change their minds. But alas, do not slumber yet. It's not over. We've entered 1984. George Orwell was a low-ranking British Secret Service intelligence agent. He was low-ranking, but he saw enough documentation and evidence that inspired him to write 1984. Because he didn't want to get killed, he wrote it as a fiction novel. The thing was, a lot of people saw that this could have been true, and it caused a lot of panic when it came out. And now that book has made a big revival. Because let's just be real with each other for a minute here. If we're waiting for World War III to start, what sort of war are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the bombs to drop? Because the war's already started and everybody's been asleep. The war in our skies. The war against our children, inoculating them. And yourself. Soon you will have to be inoculated. The war against our sexual preferences and genders. The war against man and woman. The war against family. There are many wars. I could go on and on. The war that's in your water. The poisoning that is going on in the air and the water. The poisoning, the dropping of the bunker fuel in the oceans. Need I go on? If you are not awake, you mightn't be up to date with what is around you and what we're living. But if you're waiting on an Armageddon type scenario for World War III, you've missed it. Because, as I said, World War III has already started. The bombs are just the last piece of the puzzle. Here we have an unbelievable scenario. There's a man called Bill Cooper. I will attach the video in the description box below. I want you to watch this video and I want you to stop everything you're doing and you watch it very carefully. Now you have the enemy in your ear saying this guy's a shill. Well, I'm afraid this man was murdered in the worst way possible for saying the things he said, for speaking out, for doing something, for calling all people to pull together and to act. You see, it's one thing to know these things, but it's another thing to actually speak out like I am today. And I know the consequences, I do, but I'm not afraid anymore because they will not enslave me anymore. I have been a slave to the system my whole life. However, I'm one of the lucky ones. I have grown up in a very free country. The 70s, the 80s and the 90s in this country that I'm in were a wonderful time to be alive. It was beach and parties and music and love and happiness all the time. I apologise if the wind's interfering with this. I'll try and get down here and get it a bit better. However, those days for this country, and I believe the last true free country in the entire world, they're gone. And now we are slaves to a system that we never bought into. I never bought a ticket for this. Never. "1984 is here. The Third World War is here. What can we do? What is the answers to this?" This is what I wanted to explore with you guys because I care. I do these things because I care. I've got to sit this way because the wind. I care about you, and I know that my fate is probably already sealed. However, I know where I'm going, so I am not fearful. I'm fearful for those of you who are listening to this that do not know where you're going, that don't know where to turn and what to do, because I have some bad news for you, my friends. There is no way out of this. And even though we got through the 3rd of November, we're not through it. The bombs will drop. The attacks will start. The New World Order will come in. It's already in. It's just that they haven't been so blatant to get on the world stage and say it as yet. They still need us as slaves until they have enough robots and AI to do our jobs. Trying to see where this wind's coming from, guys. I am so sorry. There is no escape from what's coming. It is prophesied thousands of years ago, not only in the Bible, in other things too, in other ancient writings. And there's only one escape. But there are many things you could do. You can go back to sleep and forget everything I've said. Just live the rest of your life until this all kicks off. You could put the shackles on and go into captivity quietly. They'll lead you away quietly. Or you can fight against it while you still have freedom and tell people to do the same thing. It's too late for us to all come together and change it. We can't change it. I'm not going to lie to you. But there is something we can do. We can save our own souls and those of our families. As a community, we need to warn each other. As a community, we cannot stop it. I will not lie to you. However, what I'm saying is not bad. I'm just trying to be serious, speak in a serious manner, so I'm taken seriously by my listeners, by the people I care about. I'm not one to put the shackles on and walk into slavery, into captivity, into bondage quietly. I won't do it. I will go down kicking and screaming all the way. And I will go down telling people what I know. And I think each and every one of you needs to do that. And if you can't do it out on the street, make a channel like I did. I'm a nobody. And I'm just here to tell people and warn people that you have a choice as to your destination in all this. This flesh and blood we have here, this is but for a short time. You're going to have to make a choice about where you go forever. There's only one way out of this bondage and captivity. There's only one way.